Well, now we're up to step number 4, and this is basically not a new step. It's simply a bringing together of all those steps I've taught you into making one freestyle didgeridoo song. So how do you do that? Well, obviously the steps that we've discussed so far is using your lips, step number 1, to make the didgeridoo drone. In step number 2, we talked about using that sound to make rhythms and beats, and we did a couple of different beats. And the second beat that we did was the third step we talked about was the animal sounds with the didgeridoo, and we did a lot of different sounds there, but one of the first ones was simply the dingo growl. Now with step number 4, we're going to put all of that into a repetitious circuit song. So now we're going to try to mix these 3 steps together to make our 4th step. So how are we going to do that? First of all, we're going to do the first beat. See what I did there? The first beat that we learnt mixed with the first animal sound that we learnt. Once more it would be. Okay. Once we've done that, we want to take a little breath of air in our nose. So a little sniff of air to be able to keep the air circulation going. And then we're going to mix the second beat that we did with the same animal sound. Can you do that? Okay. So far we've got now by putting that all together, we can now start to create our first didgeridoo song. Just remember, after the voice sound, we take a quick breath of air in our nose. Now if we can do this in a circulated way, we could go for maybe a minute or so making that sound together. Shall we give it a try? Get your didgeridoo ready. Perhaps let me take the lead in the sound and then jump in when you're ready. Here we go. That's mixing all the steps together to create our 4th step, making your basic didgeridoo song. So with a bit of practice, what you can do, perhaps learn one more beat, perhaps learn one more animal sound, and now you can make your song go a little bit longer. Remember that other beat that we looked at back there in lesson 2? If you were to throw that same beat in and maybe one more animal sound, our song will all of a sudden be coming longer. And you're off to playing and cutting your first album on the didgeridoo. Obviously a little bit more practice, throw in a 3rd beat, a 4th beat, and start to experiment with your animal sounds and throw them in at different times. With a bit of practice, maybe 2 or 3 months practice, you could be playing at a professional level. In the next step, we're going to talk about the hardest lesson of all, which is circular breathing. But I recommend to practice these first 4 steps for at least a week or 2 before you look into the circular breathing in lesson 5. So we'll see you soon for that.